Ilaria Araghetti, her 50th international cap, and a referee, none more experienced than Holly Davidson. Fresh from Tokyo at the Olympic Games. Bit of a fist bump there for Stacey Foot. Of course, they know each other very well from the Sevens circuit. And well, if Ireland get the ball to Bevan Parsons on the wing, she could do damage. Scored the first try against Spain, and that was as good as it got for Ireland after that. So here we go. 80 minutes then. Must-win game for Ireland. The Italians looking to make it 2 from 2 in the sunshine in Parma. Thunder and lightning forecast later on this evening. Hopefully that stays away and doesn't interfere with the games back-to-back we have here covering on World Rugby Stream or wherever you're watching in the world. Beautiful setting. All set then. Here we go. Slicey Flood up for distance from the first kick-off. And as I said, had rain early this morning in Parma, which thankfully has cleared away for blue skies, around about 20 degrees. So perfect conditions for rugby as the Centurion, Sarah Baratine, gets her hands on the ball for the first time. Italians trying to play from well inside their own 22, Manuzzi. There it goes, nice hands from Perdrighi. Lucia Guy, 75th cap for her as well. Experience all over the pitch for the Italians. Still playing knock-on advantage. We're into Holly Davidson, whistle's gone.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think the weather may play a little bit of an input on these games, because we saw on Monday it was high 20s and you could physically see the Scottish and Irish teams both struggling in that heat. But like you say, there's been some storms, it's cooled down, it's cleared the air a little bit. So 20 degrees, there was some rain earlier, so we may have a bit of a waxy ball, can sometimes be a little bit tricky to handle. But hopefully a bit more of a level playing field in regards to the climate for all these teams involved.
So first scrum should be interesting. Gaia Maris, Marissa Bettoni and Lucia Guy against Laura Feely, Cleena Maloney and Lyndon Jugang. Spain got a bit of change from Ireland early on in the scrum feed last time out. This is gone.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but that was one of the biggest shocks for me, that game against Spain. For Ireland, we know how strong they are in their set piece. That is their bread and butter, but as you just mentioned there, Spain caused all sorts of trouble in their scrum, in their line out. So it'll be interesting if they've managed to rectify that in training this week.
It's Cleena Maloney just down throwing the shoelaces at the moment. As you mentioned, no Claire Malloy still in the Ireland team, which is a bit of a surprise, I have to say. I mean, she's fit enough to be on the bench, but obviously overlooked for the starting 15. But a bit of a surprise for you, Philippa?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to be honest, she is still one of the best players I ever had the privilege of playing alongside, with some invitational rugby, but against as well. She was one of those annoying all-rounders. She was literally good at everything. She's fast, she's agile, she's powerful, incredible work rate. So yeah, a bit of a surprise, but obviously there is a good reason for it.
So we'll sit again for the scrum.
Bind. Set.
The Italians trying to run from right outside their own 22. Keeping the ball in the hands. Ireland having to defend early on, set the ball, and Jugan takes it from the side of the ruck. Very happy to let play continue.
Yeah, interesting bit of play there. I think Italy would have got very accustomed to their last game when they did play against Scotland. They had lots of ball, they had quick rucks, and they were able to progress through the field very quickly. I don't think they're going to get that speed of ball against Ireland. Ireland will always put someone into the ruck and try and slow it down. It also maybe they want to keep the ball in hand instead of kicking, because they're acknowledging that the threat that is the back three of Ireland, which is their strongest, one of their strongest attacking points.
So on come the Italians then. Giordano. Martin again. Loose ball. Murphy coach trying to pounce on it quickly, but it's gone forward off an Irish hand. And he's trying to break just over that 10-metre line. Pretty tight contest so far.
Onside. You're part of that rock.
Still trying to keep ball in hands.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think Italy did get quite a bit of confidence from their ability to play against Scotland, especially keeping the ball and just sending those heavy runners up. But what they're going to meet here against Ireland is just a slightly heavier contact in the initial collision. And that initial collision not only can give Ireland a bit more dominance in the ruck and slow things down, but sometimes it can dislodge the ball and the Italians might find themselves lying on the wrong side. So they're going to have to read into that pretty quickly. They're not going to be able to bring the same game plan they did against Scotland against this Irish, more physical Irish team.
Fight.
So scrum to Ireland. Just inside the Italian half. That's for a chance for them to have a go, particularly in the back line.
Much instability on this side. Same again.
And you know what? Ireland's set piece gives them such a confidence boost when they have got a strong scrum, a steady line out. This is what they love to attack from. This is where they'll score most of their tries. And as you've alluded to there, they've got one of the best, and I'd say in world rugby, wingers at the moment. One of the most exciting in Bibbin Parsons on the left wing. So the more they can get the ball into her hands, especially off set piece, the more threatening they can be. Oh, that is frustrating for Ireland.
Well, there you go. Penalty to the Italians. And again, they had problems against the Spanish, and similar problems here with the Italians getting the benefit of the referee's whistle. There we go, need to try and find touch.
Keep that gap.
Ireland's highest score win against Italy was 40 points to 10 back in 2012. The biggest winning margin was 39 in 2014. They could do with something similar here. They really need a bonus point victory and a decent margin to keep their hopes of progression alive. If the Italians come away with the ball.
Go back. Go back.
This is a great example of the physicality that the Irish defence possess. The amount they troubled that initial ruck, they've slowed things down, and they've progressed their defensive line to make that contact behind the gain line. Really good defence so far.
First time tackles having to be made. Captain David, the interception. Back it goes to Furlan.
Blue in front, hold.
And firmly comfortable with her position on the wing now to allow Astuni Manuzzi keep a place in 15, and Adam Griggs. I don't know what he's made of the first 8.5 minutes or so.
I think he'll be pretty happy. I mean, it's early days to make any real calls about the scrum. Obviously, they lost that last one. But I think in regards to the defence, the intensity that they are putting on Italy, I think he'd be pretty happy with them so far. Obviously, it'd be nice to see them go through some attacking phases, but we are early doors into this game, and it is quite crazy to think of this being such a tight fixture. When you consider these two teams have met 19 times, Ireland have got the better of Italy 17 of those times. You just wouldn't think this would be as much of a competition as it is, but it's just testament to how well Italy are playing and how they've just been quietly going about their business, just gaining a couple of international scalps, you know, some big wins, and they're in the position now where at the moment, I know we've only had round one, but they were the most impressive team for me for that round, and they are looking like the favourites.
Home soil as well.
Yep.
Counts for a huge amount, but 2019, the last time they played here, that was the last time Italy had a win against Ireland. 29-27.
Yeah.
What a game that was in the Six Nations.
Oh. Mark. Advantage collapse. Just get that number, B. It's 6. Nine, you've got advantage.
Ooh. Great kick. Oh, and I thought that just made touch and trickled out, but it looks like it's gone straight out and the ball's going to be taken back. But good to see Catherine Dane there at scrum half mixing things up. They obviously had the penalty advantage, so it's certainly worth a go, hoisting up that high aerial attack, challenging the back three, because you know the Italian backs weren't really challenged that much in the earlier round. So they're certainly going to have a bit of a wake-up call here. Ireland have come to mean business.
Grazie.
Great steal from the Italian pack there. Lovely hands.
Is that 4?
So brilliant run and roll by the Italians, well inside their own half. Whistle's gone.
Oh, and then you've lost the forward on the ground.
Goes forward from an Irish hand, but it just, I guess, shows the attacking intent. Apologies, I'm having a couple of technical issues with my microphone here, so Philippa, we don't mind. But yeah, some brilliant creativity there by the Italians.
Yeah, and you know what? Even when I was playing back in the early sort of 2000s, and we'd play against Italy, and they weren't as strong then, but you always were made aware of the threat of their attack from anywhere. Italy, whether they were winning a game or losing a game, if they feel it's on and they're on their try-line, they will go for it. Now, Ireland obviously will know this. I mean, that was a very good, quick challenge in the line out. They transferred that into an attacking opportunity very quickly. But still a good scramble defence there from the Irish back through.
Engage. Yeah. Okay, higher this time. Higher. Crouch. Bind. Set.
So goes penalty to the Italians, and again it's another scrum that goes badly wrong for Ireland, and the Italians will be delighted with that.
Louder.
Absolutely. You know when you play against Ireland, it is all about their set piece. And that's where Spain managed to sort of stay in that fight. They just disrupted disrupted the scrum, disrupted the line out, kind of flustered Ireland a little bit. So it's certainly going to be a target for Italy. Really good defensive pressure here coming from Ireland. Every contact is being made behind the gain line, and look there, you just see Selena Poo just for a split second putting her hands in the ruck, just slowing things down. And you see the counter ruck as well. Really good defensive work around the ruck area at the moment from Ireland. Very impressive by Ireland. From that initial line out with Italy, the amount that they have been forced back, the pressure that the Irish team managed to put on them then. Really, really good. I think Italy are going to have to look up and put the ball to the boot and try and relieve some of this pressure. I mean, one thing you would say, if Ireland are flying up that much in their defensive line, you know, Veronica Medea in at fly half for Italy, she's very comfortable kicking the ball, so potentially a little grubber or a little dink over the top. That just what we call keeps the defence honest and true. So it'll just take a little bit of pace off the defensive line, because they become fearful that the Italians might just try and expose that little gap left behind them when they rush up so much in defence. So I think that might be worth doing the next couple of phases, because Ireland are going to get the better of Italy if they keep up this intensive defensive pressure. It's going to fluster Italy, and Italy are going to start giving away penalties. You can see there all the teams very glad of the water break, only 15 minutes in. I said it was a little bit cooler, but still, playing rugby union in 20 degrees is still quite challenging.
Here's your mark. Let's go. Thank you. Yep, it's fine there. It's good. Crouch. Bind. Set. Nine hold.
Unfortunately, just a little bit too much power on that kick. I'm not quite sure if she was looking to get a little bit more height on that to allow the Irish back three to compete, because with such a good attacking platform, solid scrum, you're in Italy's half, it'd be very strange to just kick and try and make Italy play out for it. You would normally only see a kick in this position for a kick to compete.
Thank you. Yep, here.
So because that ball went straight out, they now get a scrum down from where the ball was kicked. So that's why they get to march all the way back up. And a chance for themselves to get out of this position, because at the moment, the Italians haven't really been in Ireland's half much. And that is all credit to the Irish defence.
Bind. Set.
Another good scrum.
Number one is scrummaging right up underneath. Okay. When your number one scrummages, she must scrummage square and straight. At the moment, she is going underneath the tight head, and pushing her up, yeah, which is dangerous.
Okay, so that's a word to number 1, which is Laura Feely for Ireland. You can just see there she is starting to creep up a bit. That's where the infringement came. You need to scrummage straight, low and straight.
Good,
Not
thanks,
that I've ever
Molly.
had the privilege of scrummaging, but that's what many of my front row tell me is the main challenge, is keeping that body position so tight. Slight overthrow there in the line out, but made good by scrum half Beretian, cleaning that up. Much better go forward from the Italians. Now they've got a bit, and there comes the offloading game. As soon as they're making collisions past the gain line, that's when you see their offloading game come in. That's when they're at the most dangerous. Very good turnover for Ireland there. That's just what I was talking about earlier. Ireland in the ruck, as soon as they can put 1 or 2 people in there, they are going to get that turnover. They're so good at disrupting. That's probably the first time we've seen in this game Italy getting momentum off their carries. And they're doing it in the right area of the field. That's where they want that go forward. But they just need to be a bit more savvy on the floor when they're making contact against Ireland.
Off feet now. It's your knee that's stopping it.
Good chat there from the referee. Just letting all players know she knows exactly what's going on in the bottom of that ruck, no matter how much the nines may
Blink.
protest. Great turnover from Ireland there. Cara Griffin, captain, leading the way. Look at that clear release from the contact of the initial tackle. Straight in, hands on the ball. And remember, you don't always have to come away with the ball, but if you can just show the action you are trying to get that ball, then you're more than likely going to win the penalty. And it'll be a penalty for the Italian player holding on because you're not able to get that ball away.
Put Italy on the line. The line's going to be yours, okay?
Stacey Flood there.
On the line.
Hopefully will be the week in, week out fly half for Ireland. Ireland have gone through so many fly halves. They really haven't found a player to really make it their own, but there is hope for Stacey Flood. Exciting player, likes playing close to the gain line. She's also got a good kicking game as well, good management. Lovely hands. And this is the try scorer. This is the girl you want the ball to have the ball.
Personal foul. Checking. Personal foul. By 12.
Lovely bit of attack there. That nice bit of misdirection. She got the short line coming in. Senanupu just feeds it to Bivin Parsons, the really exciting winger for Ireland.
Yeah. Stay down, yes.
That was a good bit of work there from Italy, just getting over the ball.
Okay, girls, in come. Yep.
Good body positions, but unfortunately there was a knock on.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Okay, 9.
Oh, lovely offloading. Strong attack from Ireland, taking them wing to wing. Offloading, keeping the ball alive. Forwards are set now, midfield, some strong carries coming. Ireland choosing to play the short side.
No.
Oh, great hit.
No, wait, no.
Great individual hit there from Italy. You can just see there how much it slows things down when you get that dominant collision, when you can push a player back. It's just taken any momentum out of the Irish attack. They now have to rebuild. Good defensive line speed again there from Italy, just shutting off the options. The Irish players just need to be careful about going off their feet, making sure they're arriving at these rucks, staying in control of their body weight.
No advantage.
Okay, going back now for an earlier penalty. No advantage gained by Ireland in the series of carries.
Number 8.
That was the collision. What a fantastic hit there.
2.
Valerie Fedgari
Shot called.
in at number
No
4.
dummy.
All you need is one hit like that when you're so close to the try line. It just lifts the entire team. Gives you that extra bit of boost, bit of confidence.
Just on the 15, please.
And more so, it just slows things down, so it allows players to get in a better defensive position. I think this is a good call from Ireland. 23 minutes in, they've applied loads of pressure, but pressure doesn't mean anything unless you convert it into points. They've certainly had their fair opportunities now in Italy's half to try and get a try on the board, and I dare say if they keep playing the way they are, tries will come, but for now, getting those 3 points on the board is the right call. Oh, and then
Knock on.
a cruel twist of fate, it hits the post. If you tried to hit the post, it'd be very, very difficult. But unfortunately, Stacey Flood has managed to find it. Ball is obviously still alive, so pressure still on the Italians. They've got to now try and play themselves out of this position.
Stay on. 5-1.
Oh, just couldn't find touch there. That was mopped up by the Irish back three.
No, don't pull back.
Another great hit there. Unfortunately, just a bit of blocking there. The Irish players couldn't get to the Italian. This is Madia, the fly half. You know, she's in a good position really to make that clearance kick. Yes, there was a bit of pressure coming on her from the Irish players, but she really should have made that touch finder, put the team under all sorts of pressure there.
A knock on. Yes, I played knock on advantage, and then you kick advantage over. Yep.
Approfittiamo della pausa per ricordarvi di rispettare il protocollo Covid, di rispettare le distanze interpersonali e il prossimo regolamento.
Another well-needed water break. It's been very intense times, and this was the infringement of the blocking, as you see there.
Thank you.
There's nothing really Sarah Bertin can do. She picked up the ball, but unfortunately, I think it was Duga was just in front of us. That's blocking, and that's why the ball is then given back to the Irish.
Girls? The last scrum, really good. Make sure all of our 6 shoulders are out. Very positive. Good. Loud? Okay. Much better last time, okay? Okay, time on. Time on. Bingo. Get behind the ball.
She's just got so much strength. It's Bibbin Parsons there, just getting that fend in, just buying some extra time.
Yeah, 6, not now.
Unfortunately, Italy still do get there in numbers, which is the key. And now they've got the turnover. It's got to be a decent clearance kick on this.
Don't, girls, don't pull back. No. Use it.
And there it is. It's probably not the most amount of distance there. Beatrice Rigoni would normally get a little bit more distance on that. Oh, there it is. It actually comes from the offload, that turnover.
You good?
It's so difficult in that position because I can imagine Bibbin Parsons were getting all kinds of calls to keep the ball alive, keep the ball in play, and there were certainly Irish players there in support, but unfortunately Sarah Berrettine showing her experience to just make sure she got right in between the passing lines, so she was there to intercept that, get the ball back for Italy.
All good, girls? Okay, time on.
You have to give credit here to Italy. I mean, they are really weathering this pressure. It's still on them though, they've still got a lot of work to do, but I can't see them holding out with this much pressure for the entire half.
Don't change your mind. Down by blue, down by green, sorry.
Oh, fantastic quick hands there from Ireland. Finally, they've managed to convert that pressure into some points. And of course, it's going to be Bibbin Parsons. Such an awesome player. And she's still so young. It's incredible to think that in 2019, she couldn't complete the Six Nations because she had to finish her sort of end of year exams. Still in school. But she is such an exciting player. She just will always score you something out of nothing. So one-on-one there, she backed herself. She put her body angle in nice and low to get that low skid, making sure that she got to the try line. Well deserved from Ireland. They have done nothing but put pressure on the Italians. Italy just at the moment, they can't find a way to get out of their own half. Simple play, simple play.
Sarah?
Wasn't even the quickest of rucks, but just having that awareness then, that good communication from scrum half Catherine Dane, fly half Stacey Flood. And I'm sure every time Stacey sees that Bibbin Parsons is on her outside with potentially a bit of space, she's going to be very keen to get the ball into her hands.
Onside. Green in front, hold, 7. Wait. Now you're off.
Always enjoyable seeing the Italians counter-attacking from deep. They do love to keep the ball in hand.
Off feet.
Good double-up tackle there from Ireland. Just slowing things down. Again, another contact, just keeping the Italians on their feet, slowing them up just that split second. Good strength there. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe couldn't really do too much. She's desperately trying to get herself to the ground, get the tackle complete, retain the ball. Here we see that kick through from Rigoni. Wasn't really the best. I think she would have preferred it a bit more of a low drive rather than sort of stopping and bobbling up there. It didn't really go far enough, behind the Irish defensive line for Italy to really capitalise on that. But again, good line speed in defence from Ireland. Lovely offloading play.
Ball is out. Knock on in the tackle.
And there it is, just an example of the Irish defensive pressure. When they make those collisions, they are likely to get a knock on, to force a knock on.
Do you have a deliberate knock on? Okay, I think we should check because I think potentially she's the last player. Okay, so TMO. I just want to make sure that this is a deliberate knock on, and if it is, potential yellow card for the line break up.
So this is interesting. They're looking at the actual knock-on, came from Bibbin Parsons. I thought it was a knock-on in the collision. So Bibbin Parsons being the last defender. Now, if this is deemed as a deliberate knock-on, then basically she's interfering with play. She feels potentially that the try is inevitable, so she's gone for the ball. And if that is the case, then we could be seeing a card. Sorry, it's not Bibbin Parsons. It's number 13 for Ireland. It's Eve Higgins.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's good.
Now, is this a dominant collision? Eve Higgins has gone in at chest height, just looking to prevent that ball from being passed away, or has she interfered with the ball as it is being passed, which would then be the knock-on? So this is what they're looking at here.
Okay, Ollie, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but we have no angles on the big screen.
Okay, just wait, please.
It's so difficult to see from that angle.
Okay, it's on the screen now, Holly.
Yeah.
That looks like the best.
Yeah, so it looks like a deliberate knock-on, but there is cover there from 11, so we're looking at penalty only.
Right, okay.
Probably right decision.
So what she's explaining there is basically by the fact that there is another Irish player in a good defensive position, it wouldn't have been a guaranteed try, so there's no
On the 10-meter line, number
try to be given as a
Yeah.
penalty awarded try, because the Irish player probably would have been able to have defended that from
Okay,
happening,
captains.
so it is just a penalty infringement.
It's a deliberate knock-on by 13 green, but 11 is there, so it's going to be a penalty here for blue.
So clear instructions from Holly Davidson then. Penalty for the Italians.
Number 13.
A decent touch frame as well, so just shy of 33 minutes gone, and the Italians looking for their first points of the game. Decent platform to strike from here.
Possibly the best opportunity they've had this half. Set piece now in the Irish 22.
Decent take.
Maul.
We're going to try a maul of their own. Give the Irish the taste of their own medicine. That's exactly what they've done, and they're making good inroads as well towards that 5-metre line.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage to the Italians.
Gives it out to Gaia Maris. 19 again to Lucia Guy. Lucia Guy dragged away from the try line, I should say, by Ciara Griffin. What a tackle that was by the Irish captain, try saver. Italy hammer away again.
9, you have advantage.
Advantage coming. And Barty knows it. Out it goes to Bertoni. Another pick and
George,
go. Desperate
away.
bodies underneath. Is that ball at the line? It's very
Onside,
close.
onside.
Not quite there. Another pick and go. Another attempt to get over.
Backwards.
Another big tackle from the Irish defence. Sillery.
Oh,
For advantage.
We're back to the penalty.
We're back for 6.
they have still got advantage, so they've still got time to play, but this is such a key moment. Dying minutes now before the end of the first half. If Ireland can hold Italy out, I mean, what a psychological blow that will be. However, if Italy do score, it's very, very much game on. Oh, just couldn't quite get that ball to hand there.
Into the corner they go.
Just off the 5, girls. What? No, 6.
You know, it's interesting there, when we saw those pick and go phases, we only saw 2 or 3, and I wonder if that's just a little bit of a nod to the new law that, you know, if you do pick and go and you are held up over the in-goal area, then we see that drop out 22, so you essentially lose the ball because they stopped that quite quickly, whereas I think maybe last year we would have seen the Italians continue
That's
to
one's
pick and go.
backwards.
So it's
Around the side they go. And bungled into touch. Looks like on the far side.
That was much better defence there from Ireland.
Okay, 1.
Italy do manage to get that breakaway, but it is well shepherded and well covered by Irish hooker and 9.
So Maloney to throw then. Ireland weathered the storm. 4 minutes until the half-time whistle. Taken by Sam Monaghan into the second round place of Eva McDermott.
Good the mark.
Italians trying to make a nuisance of themselves there. Ireland don't want to take any risks from well inside their own 22 as Narupu tries to burst away through the tackle.
Play on.
Dane. Back it goes to Flood. Look
Oh,
at Dummy. Oh,
what a
lovely
lovely
dummy
dummy.
and sold up the river. But Stacey Flood supports from Considine, but Considine just overran it. And Ireland get the penalty, but great work by Stacey Flood.
Really great work. And this is that little energizer boost, that little confidence boost that they need right now. Lovely dummy. There we go. Completely sold the Italian number 3, Lucia Guy. She's not going to want to see that one back on a reel.
No.
Just a shame they couldn't make the most of it.
Is that going to find touch? Well, couldn't hold on to it, so it's knock-on advantage to Ireland. Here for Dane. Griffin carries it into contact.
Hold.
And we'll try back in the pocket as Flood. There's a kick over the top.
Back foot, thank you.
They're really trying to run from well inside their own 22.
Unplayable. Blue ball.
Italian scrum.
Bodies. Bodies.
You know, I know that is the Italian way. They will attack off anything. But I just think at this point in time, I think they've defended so much, they've weathered so much pressure. Maybe they should be conserving their energy a little bit and not trying to attack in such a crucial area of the field. I'm not sure. Like I say, it is very much the Italian way. Attack off
Yeah,
everything.
hang on.
But I just think with the level of fatigue they're probably feeling right now, that is a risky way to play, and errors could start coming in and they could be punished for them.
injuries. Time on. Play ball.
So just over a minute to go at the end of the first half, and this Baratine defeats Italian scrum. Just the one try. Right old battle out there. So loose, referee said it was out, so Ireland first to react. And can they take advantage of it? No, Boo's in there at scrum half. Then she goes to Monaghan. For Dane. Flood. No, Boo again. Another carry from Monaghan. Quick ball needed. Then it goes to Maloney. Murphy Crowe, not much room to work with there. Big tackle goes in from Furlan.
In your time only.
Thanks, Sean. Look up.
We've gone 40 minutes, so next time the ball goes dead, will be the half-time whistle.
Backwards.
Go backwards, says Holly Davidson.
To the second half of Italy vs Ireland, and against all odds, you have to say Ireland are leading 5-0. Italy potentially didn't change their game plan from round one and haven't been able to have the successful go forward, the offloading game, because the Irish defence has just been so strong. But Ireland still need to be just that bit more clinical. They've had an awful lot of possession, an awful lot of territory. They really should have more than 5 points on the board, but we just have to see now who's had the better team talk at half-time. Have they identified what they need to be doing better in this second half? Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe there with the ball in hand. One of two exciting pairings on the wing for Ireland. Oh, and that's a strong carry. What a great run here. Quick ruck needed now. Great defensive pressure there from Italy, just forcing Ireland to go back and getting the turnover. They need to exit. This has been their issue in the first half. They haven't been able to get out of their half.
Okay, 9. Use it. It's all back. It's all back. Okay, 9.
Just taking their time there, setting up the ruck, but they're still keeping the ball in hand. You would normally think that when they take a little bit more time around the ruck area, they're setting up for a kick, but no. Italy is staying true to their style of play, which is play from anywhere.
Use it. Take it back. All in front. Hold. 4. Wait. Yep.
Fortunately, don't find touch there. They're working the rucks towards the side of the pitch, trying to get a better angle on that kick, but still touch was missed. Good counter-attacking run there from Bibin Parsons. Unfortunately, just a handling error there. nothing really too wrong with that. Yes, if you want to be picky there, the number 9, Catherine Dane, should really be looking to put that ball on a plate. But this is the big run that we saw.
At the moment, for me, they're rolling east to
What a
west.
fantastic breakthrough there.
Impacting her. Oh,
Linda and Julianne, strong ball carries. They just couldn't make the most of the quick ruck there to really capitalise on it. And this was the turnover then. Good bit of Italian pressure. Just forced again, bit of a handling error on the floor.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
What a fantastic turnover at the scrum.
Knock on.
It was a bit of a waste of possession there from Ireland, just looking for the dink through, looking for a little grubber through, but really wasn't on. Bit of a soft turnover there for Italy. Now, can they get themselves out of this area? It's a bit high, and it is kept in field. Great kick in behind, making the Italian defence turn and run. But here we have Manuela Furlan. Oh gosh, doesn't she love a counter-attack?
She's not on the ball. She's on the body.
Italy need to clear themselves from this space. They won't be able to go through the phases against Ireland. We saw that in the first half. At some point, Ireland will disrupt the ruck and they will get a turnover. They really need to look to clear this now. Oh, what a break. Lovely offload there. And of course, it's going to be Sarah Berrentin on the shoulder.
No.
Oh, Italian players just got to her in time to secure that ball. Italy remain in possession.
No. Gianluca, will you check that? I have it on ball first. Take a step.
Potentially a high tackle might be looked at.
You have a high tackle? Okay, advantage.
Okay, it has been confirmed as a high tackle, so it is penalty advantage to Italy. This is a free play now. What are they going to do with it?
Advantage. Hi.
So nothing really coming from that set of phase. So they're going to be going back. So
Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
that was the initial break. What great pickup, what great awareness there
Time off.
from Melissa Bertoni, the hooker for Italy. The initial break, and she just knows she's going to have a player on the field. And this is the high tackle. Now, you could say potentially the Italian player Michela Solari is ducking into contact, but there is clear and obvious contact with the head there. So it'll be interesting what they
Yeah, waiting for the images on your screen.
pick from this now.
Once again, apologies about the technical difficulties, and thank you to Philippa for doing such a brilliant job here while I pull every hair out of my head. We're glad to be back with you as we go to the TMO. Here was the tackle. The arm does come up, Philippa, right? But there's contact with the shin there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but like I say, look, slight mitigating circumstance there. The Italian number 3, Solari, she does duck into contact, and number 15 there,
So I'm seeing
the Italian
a high
fullback.
tackle by 15 Green. She's
pretty
looking
low.
to make a legal tackle, and she's dipped to the hip, and it's made contact around the neck area. I'm thinking yellow card.
Interesting.
Agree, Holly.
Okay.
So it'll be a yellow card for Emer Constein, Ireland, with a player in the sin bin. Don't think she's expecting it, but
Captain, I'm 15. It's going to be a yellow card, okay? It's high.
That is a tough one because I think both players were
Okay, the mark
were
is
doing
on the
everything they could to make a safe
the
collision.
10
You know,
and the
Solaria, of
midfield.
course, she's going to brace herself, which probably will mean she will duck a little bit.
Okay.
But then Considine, she has clearly gone in very low, hinging at the hip. But still, if contact with the head is made, you're going to be seeing some kind of penalty infringement.
Decent tackle
She's got
platform
started.
once again from the line out here, but points are at a premium.
Okay, girls, on med.
And we'll play the next 10 with 14.
Assume. Take a step, girls.
And you have to wonder, with the game being so close as it has been, could this be the break that Italy needed? Are they going to be able to expose now? We're going to have to see the Irish wingers working really hard to cover that space in behind where the fullback no longer is.
Some tap, a little bit awkward there from the line out as Adele McMahon tried to come through to gather the loose ball. Italians have done just enough to protect it there for Battertine. Out it goes to Squadbini. A bit slow coming back from half, not her fault. Madia, and wide it goes. Look at the run from Manuzzi, lovely line. Tackle had to be made there. Ireland trying to counter ruck and get the penalty as well. That's brilliant defensive work by the Irish. The Italians, Manuzzi with an initial really nice line, but just couldn't hang on to the ball.
Now that is the threat of the breakdown by the Irish players. And it's number 13, isn't it, for Ireland? Eve Higgins getting herself in a really great body position over the ball. That's really sort of the difference for me in between these two teams at the moment. It is that breakdown area and how much Ireland have just managed to disrupt. We saw in round one how much confidence Italy get from that quick ball, momentum play. They get offloads in. And at the moment, Ireland have really done a good job at hindering their game.
So instructions been given to Clea Maloney for the throw in the line out. As long as they can hang on to the ball with Clea Constantine in the bin.
Nine. At scrum time, once the ball is in, you need to get onside, okay? You can't just stay at the tunnel. Yeah.
So a couple of bumps and bruises, as you can imagine. It's been one of those games. That's just a contact lens for Linda Jungan. Just has to go back in. Wouldn't be able to see the ball when it's coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
You free? You hear me better now? Yes? Okay. Okay,
So
time on.
Maloney to feed the line out. Again, no problem with the ball off the top. There for Dane to try and release some of the outside backs. Get a bit of pace into this attack. Here's Flood. Don't be switching out, but that's not a good pass though. Murphy Crow won't thank her for it. She did well to take it. Flat pass this time. Flood. Dringay has a bit of help on her shoulder. It's a shove for a good effort as well. Ireland big play towards the halfway line, but they give away another penalty, not releasing on the ground. And an unforced error gifts possession straight back to the Italians.
Yeah, it certainly does. And this was actually a bit of an issue for them in the last game. They gave away 15 penalties, which really managed to keep Spain in the game. But first half, I think they'd see a massive improvement on that. But you don't want to start to see that creeping in. If they start to feel the pressure, like they did against Spain, when that was on a bit of a knife edge, that's when the penalties started coming. So they need to keep cool heads now.
So Bertoni. Just getting instructions from Giordana Duca. Way too much on that. Not a good throw at all by the Italian hooker. On the possession back. Good. Can't go straight into touch with it. Just carry back in over the 22. Plenty of distance on it over the halfway line. Another one dropped by Another Furlan. She has support from Manuzzi, but she opted to take it into contact herself. Ripped away by Higgins though, and Eve Higgins, two-handed carry straight into contact and almost bashed Madia, I should say, out of the way. There for Dane. On comes Dorothy Wall. Did that go forward? It went loose. It did go forward. The hand is out from Holly Davidson. So it's another handling error by Ireland. It's too many of them.
Knock on advantage.
He gets it out. Tackle goes in from Parsons. Scorbini. Advantage now over, says Holly Davidson. It's not going to sit up for Murphy Crowe. Has a little bit of room. Now we know she's quick.
Green in front.
Opts to put the kick back down herself. Paratine is waiting for it. Paratine with a little break as well. Look at that for the pace of the Centurion today. Now, decent attacking position here. If they get the ball wide, they can. Outside goes to Rigoni. Rigoni against Griffin. Inside the last tackle. And what a try that is by Beatrice Rigoni. The inside centre for Italy. What a run. Breaking 3 tackles on her way. And Italy draw level. What a try that was.
Fantastic try, and you just had a bit of a feeling every time there was a knock on, every time there was an infringement from Ireland, Italian heads would just perk up and they'd counter attack and they would just go for it. You have to say that try wasn't a series of, kick for territory, build the phases. It was very much reactive. We've got the ball, it's turnover, let's go. And you look at that.
Too much pace for Griffin, look at that.
I know, very, very fast. And you even had the trail support line runner as well. Italy would have had 2 chances to have scored then. Lovely weighted pass. Manuela Furlan there showing her experience, just waiting to commit the 2 Irish players. Gives it away then to Rigoni, but she trails in on that inside line. Just there is that option for that offload.
So much experience in the centre, and all started by Sarah Baratine. Ireland with a bit of an aimless kick as well.
Yeah.
And the Italians punishing them. That's the pace they have in that back 3. And indeed in the centre. It's conversion from the corner. Difficult one. No problem with the distance. No problem with the accuracy. And what about that? So the Italians take the lead for the first time in the game. And Ireland still down to 14 with Constantine in the bin.
That was a great kick right from the sideline. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely handling skills. At full pace, at full stretch. Ball in front. Offloading options. Really good from Italy. This is the sort of first time we've really seen this connectivity between the backs. Ball in front, on the front foot. Good to see.
So, Italy take the lead then. Looking to make it 2 from 2 in the World Cup qualification stage. Bonus point win against Scotland in the first round. So they have 5 points in the table overall. Looking to add to that here. Another 4 points here for victory. If they can hold on. Long way to go yet. This was gone. Just went forward. So Lindsay Peat in for Ireland in place of Laura Feely, and this is a decent attacking scrum position for Ireland.
Yeah, very decent. And you have to say they've looked their most threatening off their set piece. Just got to cut out these handling errors.
Thank you.
There's the feed. Back with Dane. Looks to find Flood as 2 outside her. Lovely hands. Higgins on a good line, but an equally good tackle to put her down. Wall.
Tackle.
It goes to Niall. Blue line of Italian defenders at the moment. They work the short side, almost intercepted by Rigoni. Worth a go.
Knock on.
Yeah, absolutely. She was in a very good
Option.
position to see that.
Option. Knock
Definitely
on or
worth a
line
go. She's right in between the line. In fairness, you kind of got to ask, why is she making that pass? Why is Stacey Flood going for that pass?
I'll need to check the knock on.
It's just a knock on, Gianluca, yeah?
I want to check for possible.
Well, they're going to look and see if it's delivered. I mean, if you put your hand out in these situations, it's a risk-reward thing. If it pays off, great. But if you knock it on in that situation, particularly inside the 22 and a 2-on-1 like that, you're leaving yourself open to a penalty or even a yellow card.
Yes, you are. And I think they tend to look at the hands. Basically, is there one hand going for the ball or is there two? If there's one,
So we're looking
then
at
you're painting a bit of a
deliberate
negative
knock-on.
picture. If you have two hands out, it looks like more of a genuine attempt. See, now from this, you really, that's only one hand out and it's
So this
completely in the
angle, try to
line of
get you a
sight.
wide angle here.
Yeah, so it is a deliberate knock on.
It's deliberate, yeah.
There
No
you go.
pressure there.
Yeah, okay.
She's actually in a really good position to get the intercept,
Possible line break.
but
Yeah,
it's
so
just
she's
that
the last
one
player there,
arm
so it's
out.
going to be a, for me, it's too close to the touchline to consider penalty try because there's a lot of other Italian players. So it's going to be a yellow card and a PK to 12 blue.
So it's 10 minutes in the bin for Rigoni then, the try score. Yellow card. Right decision, you feel. That's the risk, as I say, if you put your hand out. It's great when it works out, but if it doesn't, this is what you're exposing yourself
Okay,
to.
it's a deliberate knock on and you're the last player defending, so it's a line break opportunity.
So yellow card, 10
Just
minutes in the
wait a
bin
second.
for Rigoni.
Let them get
Can Ireland
back.
take advantage? They will have a penalty, and
Yep.
trying the first half came from a driving maul from a line out. They might try something similar here. So Flood finds touch. Line out to Ireland. So Andrea Di Gian Domenico looking on. Frustrated, I'm sure. The brilliance of her. She hasn't helped her team in a crucial stage. Ireland lose the line out. Scattered by Battoni. What a time not to hit your mark. They don't make life easy for themselves, Ireland, do they?
Oh, they don't, but it seems to be they put this pressure back on themselves when they're feeling the pressure. So as soon as Italy got that levelling score, all of a sudden we start seeing handling infringements, line-outs not going well.
Holding. No, at the mark, at the mark.
Where
All of a
they-
sudden they have a penalty. Stacey Flood wants to take it, but she just take it from the mark.
On her feet, holding on.
Well, there's Claire Malloy getting ready to come in.
Shot called.
She's certainly add a huge amount as Ireland are taking the shot at goal. Well, straight in front of the post, it's a handy 3 points, I suppose, and
Yeah,
every point
Yep.
in such a tightly contested game is
Right, thank
crucial.
yeah. I mean, you always maybe feel it could be a bit of a waste when the team you're playing are a player down, but equally, like you say, this is going to take them into the lead. And seeing as they have so many errors when they're down, they feel the pressure so much. Actually, by just getting these 3 points, just putting them 1 point ahead, could actually calm them down and allow them to play a bit more of a stronger game.
So Stacey Flood then to put Ireland back in front. No mistake. 8 points to 7.
Yep. Okay.
Then Ireland have the next day
7.
1 player advantage.
And this is a great time to see Claire Malloy getting on the field. Honestly, she is such a cool, calm operator. She'll be an absolute nuisance at the breakdown, but she's very good in open play as well. So you will see her on the shoulders of the centres. You know, and she's the type of player that will be annoyed that it's been 58 minutes, and she's only just now
Good try,
managed
mate.
to get onto the field, so she is going to be everywhere and could be key now for Ireland. Little
Yeah, it is a
catalyst.
strange one, I have to say, not being in the starting 15. If she's
Yeah.
fit and ready to play, she's an automatic selection that has been for years. As Ireland fire a pass to an unsuspecting player, and it almost went forward, but they managed to get away with it. Part of the game over the last few months or so.
Throw.
A bit lucky there with the penalty. Not rolling away after the tackle.
Right. One step. Grazie.
So Maloney to throw. 20 minutes left. Maloney take advantage of power and another gift of possession straight back to the Italians. It's a steal of lineup by them, you have to say, as Batoni takes it on over halfway line.
You have advantage.
Tackle by Dorothy
Advantage.
Wall. Our team. Went to Madia.
Early tackle.
On it up very quickly, but was out for a penalty advantage, maybe illegally so. Look at the step from Baratini, and a lovely, but Furlan, I should say, still going. Well, Furlan with a little burst of pace on the offload, but no advantage for the penalty.
Line out or early tackle here.
Yeah, it was Hooker Maloney for Ireland that shot up out of the line there, looking to make that spot
It's not here,
hit.
it's 20.
She's just a bit too keen.
Offside. 20.
There, look,
You need to wait
half
for
a
the
metre
ball, left
earlier,
line out.
and she would have made a fantastic player and ball tackle there. But instead, what it gives is Italy with a disjointed defensive line, which is obviously great to attack at.
Parsons. David Parsons is still going.
Oh, wow.
What about that for a run? Breaking 2, breaking 3, 4, 5 tackles. They can't drag her down. What a run by the winger. Now, if Ireland can't get inspiration from that, there's no hope for them whatsoever. Right, they go this time. Flood.
They've
There's
got
an
numbers.
overlap here. If Higgins can get it wide, out to Constantine. Pass goes to Murphy Crowe. Can she get into the corner? Amy Lee Murphy Crowe has the pace to get in there, and that is a superb Irish try. Started by David Parsons, finished by Murphy Crowe, and Ireland stretched the lead.
Wow, I literally lost count of how many players Vivian Parsons just made look a little bit silly then. What a break from her. But still, the coolness, the calmness, the composure to be able to put the ball through the hands. Earlier attacking opportunities, there's been these knock-ons, there's been these passes that haven't been up to scratch, but when they needed it then, that was crisp passing, and still, Amy Lou Murphy-Crowe, you know, she had a defender in her eye line. She just turned on the burners. Great pace shown by her.
All good, Ollie.
Thanks, Gianluca.
So Stacey Flood then to attempt the conversion. Fancy a chance of this one. Beautiful strike. 15 points to 7. Then Ireland 8 points clear. And every point in the table crucial here. What about this run though, Philippa?
Oh, so good. I mean, she's defying coaching tactics of run away from players and run to space. She actually goes centre field, but just backs herself and cuts the Italian defence completely into shreds. No one could get anywhere near her. Such an elusive runner, so deceptive. I just love watching her play. She's great.
Constantine. Magoni's still in the bin for the Italians. And full advantage of that with the try. Here's Flood again, trying the flat pass on the outside to Parsons. Parsons trying to go again, kick over the top, tackled by Baratin. Awkward looking one, Ireland trying to come through, almost got there first as well. I think Maloney's foot, and she looked like she picked up a knee injury. She went down to kick that ball. It's still on the ground.
17 back. Taken back. Hold.
There it goes from Flood. Takes the wraparound ball. With a grubber kick through. Then for Murphy Crowe. She's after this one is going to sit up for
Off the knee.
off the knee. Still play on. Eve Higgins takes the pop pass. Nice play by Ireland. There for Lindsay Peat. There it goes to Friday. Dane. Naupu. Better from Ireland. Considine. Maloney takes the tackle into the back out to Parsons. She's got 4 players in front of her. Bevan Parsons still going. Maloney.
Off feet.
Nice flat pound to Lindsay Peat. Dane. Friday again. Ireland hammering away at the Italian line. There's a hand on the ball there from Furlan. Was she on her feet? She was. And Italy get the penalty.
Yes. First arriving
Great
player.
bit of defensive work
On her
there
feet,
from
overball.
Furlan, just picking her time, the exact moment to get her hand in there. Really good strong carries. Look at that, straight over. Fantastic. Ball's just come out straight over and gets hands on.
So we're only getting ready to come back in. It's been an expensive 10 minutes in the bin for the inside centre.
Time is off.
Yeah, Medea there at fly half certainly hasn't had the time and the space that she got used to in round one when they played Scotland. She was, showed the full array of passes, kicks, because she just had so much time on the ball. But credit to the Irish defence, they've really put her under a lot of pressure.
So Catherine Dane goes off then, and substitute scrum half Emily Lane comes in.
Yes.
Gonna get 15 minutes or so.
No problem. Okay, time on. Holding on.
So Rigoni back to the full complement of 15. Not a huge amount of ground gain from that, so it'll be an Italian line
Yep.
out
Okay, time
on the
off.
22.
Okay.
Yeah,
2.
Italy have really struggled this game, haven't they, to be able to clear their lines effectively. They've weathered an awful lot of pressure in their own half.
6.
If Ireland have Claire Malloy to spring off the bench, Franco isn't a bad substitute to bring on for the Italians as Vittoria Vacchini comes in.
It's almost a game of top trumps, isn't it? Ireland have played Claire Malloy,
Yeah.
so Italy have played Giada Franco.
There you
No,
go.
that's the middle. Nah. Okay, come on.
Loose ball. Re-gathered somehow. Tell you, Vacchini
Yeah,
did
you're
well
good.
there to just gather that loose one. Here's Franco. First touch for her. She drops it. Well, what a time to do that. Out it goes from Claire Malloy. Floods. Ireland trying to take advantage here. Naupu, can she straighten up and give the pass? She's done so to Higgins. Higgins a little check. Still going forward.
Away!
Going to score for Ireland here now, and it'll be a long way back for the home side. Lane gives it out to Flood. Constant eye. That's poor pass to Murphy Crowe.
Pause there.
Easy Pete. Flood takes into contact there for Lane. Nice little snipe on the scrum half. Still there for Ireland. Friday. Higgins. Needs a bit of support. Doesn't want to get isolated here. Italians trying to poach. Ireland have enough numbers there. Claire Malloy is there to rip. Can she get the ball to ground? Italians fighting at the breakdown to try and get possession back, and they've managed to steal it, but Ireland not protecting the ball.
No hands. In front, hold.
The Tony.
On strike now.
It's sort of
Hold. 8. Yeah, good enough.
crossfield kick. If he goes after it, just too much on it. It's going to bounce into touch.
Yeah, good idea. I like that. I like mixing it up. And when you've got someone as fast as Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe on the wing, it's certainly worth a bit of a foot race. I think she just wanted a little bit more height, a little bit less distance, and could have a bit more of a compete. But certainly, I think, you know, it's clever from Stacey Flood because she knows that Italy aren't going to be very good at clearing from their 22, or indeed they're going to try and keep the ball in hand and play out. So there's still a chance for them to get that ball back.
Vicky need to throw. That one wasn't straight. What a time to do that.
Oh.
Line up, hold.
What about an overthrow where you can blame maybe the lifters who didn't get up in time, or the jumper didn't get the timing right, but a crooked throw like that, there's only one person that falls from. Give them another chance inside the 22 here. Friday juggles with it, knock forward. Mistake after mistake.
Knocked on by Green.
I think both sides feeling a little bit of the
I didn't
pressure.
think so. I thought, for me it was a good competition, and it was just a knock-on.
Bit of a lifesaver there you have to feel for Italy. I think if that ball had gone to hand, Ireland certainly have the momentum.
Good.
They could have really capitalised on that.
Finish it. Sit. Oh, yeah. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Penalty Ireland.
She's going back and forth at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, neither side wants to keep the ball. Just over 10 to play.
Captain.
Here's the scrum.
That's a really good drive from Ireland.
Captain, what's your line out called?
Flood Flyn's touch.
One. You keep that same picture, okay? I don't want to see step up. That's all I'm asking.
10 minutes to go now. You can just see Ireland sort of taking their time with certain decisions, taking their time, getting to the line out. Combination of needing some composure, needing to be clinical, take a breath, but also they're going to be aware that they can wind down the clock just a little bit with every decision. Ah.
And look at that, losing the line out.
Ripped.
It's just not good enough at this level for both teams as well, but it's the match has been littered with mistakes. I know there was pressure on, obviously, and these two were favourites going into the tournament. Ireland just about coming away with it. Here's Maloney.
Onside, blue, onside.
At the back there for Lane to use. He's just short, and they recycle. Flood is calling for it and gets it. Now Boo.
Play.
Loose ball back.
No.
Italians dive on it, and again Ireland coughing up possession far too easily.
Onside, Green. First player.
Another rip.
Off feet now, off feet.
Our team taking their time. Because we're going back in the pocket to try and clear here. Inside of 22.
Stop.
Can go straight into touch, but Ireland will have the line out.
Always inside.
Too many mistakes.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, isn't it?
Next one.
From such a sort of positive first half from both sides. It's just a bit frustrating to see these dying minutes of the game. The intent is there by both teams, but unfortunately maybe that focus, that concentration, maybe the weather's starting to feel that a little bit. Some tired bodies out
At the
there.
moment, they're rolling
It
east to
was a
west,
very
which is what we
intense
asked them
first
to do.
half.
And for me, they're not impacting the speed of your ball. If I do think, I will penalise them.
See Brittany Hogan getting
Yep.
ready to come in.
Okay. Okay, yeah. 8.
And it's Ciara Griffin who's going to make way, so the captain goes off.
Certainly look like she's carrying potentially a dead leg.
Yeah.
They are the
50.
worst.
Time off.
They are.
Yeah, nothing they can do really. They try and run them off. but-
And you get very limited sympathy for them because there's nothing to be seen. But they are so painful.
Yeah. There's Aramuzzo, who's just come onto the pitch in place of Manuzzi, so I presume
Time on.
that means Mela Furlan will go to full back.
Maul.
Oh, shame.
Knock on. Thanks, Nicky.
It's poor stuff,
Knock
really,
on.
isn't it, to watch? I mean, you don't want to be too critical, but it's just mistake after mistake after mistake. And 8 points the gap still. As things stand, Italy would not get a losing bonus point, so any points that Ireland can pick up while depriving the Italians as well as we head towards
Green gate.
the final round of games.
Okay. So
on
face
Saturday.
from your hookers and front row, okay? Yeah. Okay, 2. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Good shot by the Irish pack. Orca for Bartine did well. But it goes to Madia. Good step by Sinari.
First player.
He makes the tackle.
Turnover was good. Lost it again.
Rigoni pass to the outside. Tackle goes in. Big hit from Sam Monaghan. Touches his flag is up on the far side. What a tackle that was by the Irish number 5.
Yeah, and she's certainly using it, isn't she? She's brilliant hit. Gets straight up, screaming to her teammates.
Very good there.
They're the hits you want to lift the team now. Get that energy in, get that urgency in.
And away.
Here's Franco. Tackle goes in on Gary Mattis. Back with Franco as well. Not a bad pass. Rigoni. Right back inside the Italian 22. He's a little bit static. I guess they need to get points on the board, and they need 2 scores
Inside.
to overhaul Ireland.
Free stay.
Bartine once more. Madia. Franco. Penalty Italy.
19 row.
Quick tap.
Keep going, keep going. Yep. No.
He gets
No.
Franco once again, trying to keep the ball alive and went forward. Just forcing the pass. Advantage to Ireland.
Knock on advantage.
Friday takes it into contact there for Lane.
Advantage
Flood
over.
puts up the kick. And Rana Furlan is back there.
In front! Reach!
The
Keep
right
coming!
footed kick.
Stay,
Is
stay,
that going
stay!
to find touch? It is.
That's it.
Just getting a little bit loose now, a little bit scrappy.
Okay,
Both teams obviously still desperate to try and play.
time off. Injuries.
Italy have just had their offloading game completely
Yeah.
stifled by the Irish defensive pressure.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it does just feel like they didn't really have a
Drag
plan
some
B.
water. Is that
They
okay?
just continue to try and play the same way. Struggle to get out of their half.
Yes, send them on.
Just
It's
haven't
fine,
been
time's
able
off.
to get that momentum of that lovely offloading game that we saw against Scotland in round one.
Okay. Thanks, Vicky.
So at least I think is going to come in. 22 on her back. And it's Michaela Sillery who goes off. 15 points over the course of
Yep.
today
Yes.
and round one. 13 points in the opening game, which was
Seven.
quite the haul. Just the two today from the conversion after Rigoni's try.
7.
You make an impression with what? 4 minutes left on the clock.
Okay.
Isabella Locatelli just in. And Sophia Stefan preparing to come in as well. Scorbini goes off.
All complete.
Yeah, as much as you know, I'm sure it pains the coach to take off these really experienced players. But equally, you've got to have a small eye on round 3 because there is only 6 days turnaround between these games, so you have got to look after players as well.
Absolutely. And so setting up pretty nicely for the final round if this result was to stay as it is.
Release.
Tackler toe to release. Trying to come through there with Locatelli. Then looking to release on the outside. And it's popped up. And off the feet. Another penalty conceded.
Pulling on the ground. Yes, sorry.
Oh, that's her trying to make her impression, isn't it? The Italian substitute coming on, getting right up in the face of
Yeah, good there. Thank you.
Sena Poo, making that really good dominant
Yep.
collision.
I think she's off. Yeah.
Lee Higgins has had a decent game as well. She was preferred to Lucy Mulhall in the centre alongside
Yes.
Naomi
Keep
Boo.
that gap.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Eve Higgins. Lucy Mulhall is a fantastic player, obviously, Sevens captain, but new to the 15s game, and I just feel Eve Higgins just brings an extra little bit of power, a bit of weight behind her. And we've certainly seen that utilised in the Irish defensive line.
And you bring on Ireland get the scrum. There's a smile there from Nicola Friday.
Dealt with that very well. Didn't get the initial compete. Certainly get right in there on the challenge. Little things like that now, at this point of the game, it's just that psychological blow. It's just grinding down on the enthusiasm of the Italians.
Time on.
There's Anya Breen in place of Stacey Flood. We get a couple of minutes game time as Lane prepares to feed the Irish scrum. 2 minutes to go.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
It's gone down. There's a tap from Lane to Breen. That's to carry it in herself. Support on her shoulder. Friday. Consley. Taken in by Dorothy Wall. Lane. And across the Breen. Still Breen on her feet. Then she just dragged down by Lucia Guy. Inside the last minute now. Ireland happy to just hang on to possession, I'm sure.
A frustrating game for the Italians. Just really haven't been able to get a grip on it. I don't think either coaches will be overly pleased. I think even from the Irish perspective, yes, it is a win. You're going against the tournament favourites, but still there are issues with handling errors, dealing with that pressure, just being that bit more clinical. And for Italy, they need to have a plan B. Because unfortunately, trying to play this continuity of phase play, getting in behind, getting the offloading game going, that hasn't happened, and they haven't had another option.
Well, there you go.
Scrum or line out? That's dead, but we can't end on an incomplete line out.
So there you go, instructions from Ali Davidson. They have to go for the scrum on it. Line out, so Ireland should just take the...
Girls, balance.
Yeah, on previous set piece, you have to say the scrum would be slightly more reliable to retain ball. The Italians have managed to disrupt, and unfortunately the Irish throw-in hasn't always been sort of spot on. So this is the safest way for them to retain possession and then probably kick it out straight away to win the game.
Set. Hold.
Playing the feeds, ball goes into touch. And there is the full-time whistle. So a much-needed victory for Ireland.